Pressure is mounting for Dallas's mayor and police chief to cut ties with the controversial head pastor of First Baptist Dallas. Today, Mayor Mike Rawlings finally weighed in on Pastor Robert Jeffress's comment about gay-friendly businesses and chambers of commerce that are against so-called religious freedom laws. The pastor said those groups and laws are a greater threat to religion than ISIS. But Fox 4's Deanna Zoga reports the police chief who teamed up with Jeffress for a Back the Blue program still hasn't been saying anything. Deanna.
Yeah, Steve, no comment from Dallas's police chief, even as more LGBT groups call for the city and police department to take another look at its relationship between Robert Jeffress, his church, and of course Dallas police officers who are being offered services here through First Baptist Dallas.
Those statements that were made hurt me deeply for Dallas. That's not how Dallas is.
Friday, Dallas Mayor Mike Rawlings finally weighed in on Pastor Robert Jeffress's words in this May 16th interview.
And I've said often the greatest threat to freedom of religion in America is not ISIS, it's the Chamber of Commerce. I mean, it's these businesses that say to our representatives, oh, don't pass laws like that. Don't pass these religious freedom laws because people will interpret that as anti-gay and we'll lose business.
The mayor, along with Dallas's police chief, appeared with Jeffress to announce a Back the Blue partnership in April. While the mayor now says Jeffress's words hurt, he didn't go as far as cutting ties with the pastor, who's also criticized Islam, Mormonism, and same-sex marriage.
This is a tricky thing. There are a lot of restaurants that'll give free hamburgers to our police officers. And, you know, you don't, sometimes those restaurants might do things that are weird. And so I think the chief will lead and resolve that for the police officers.
I think the mayor's not leading in this situation. He's not making any decisions, and he's punting to Chief Brown.
Cece Cox of the Resource Center says the actions betray a community already dealing with a string of unsolved attacks in and around Oak Lawn.
And you have that in combination with the DPD saying, oh, we're going to send our officers to First Baptist Church, where the pastor says anti-LGBT things. We've just had enough.
First Baptist Dallas says Pastor Jeffress was out of town Friday. The executive pastor of operations spoke on his behalf.
There are no formal relationships or ties at issue here. Instead, First Baptist Dallas has just offered to support the Dallas Police Department. We haven't asked the police department or the city to support us.
Still, new voices are joining the chorus this week, asking the police chief if he's standing next to Jeffress, does he also stand with him?
I do think it's incumbent upon him to speak, because remaining silent does make it look like, at least tacitly, it's endorsed by the Dallas Police Department.
First Baptist Dallas tells us it believes that Pastor Jeffress's statements have been misconstrued this week. We played you that story, the entire statement, the entire sentence. The church also tells us it has not been in direct contact with the police chief or the mayor this week. Back to you.
All right, Deanna, everybody's got their politics, everybody's got their agendas, and now seemingly everyone has had their say, except we have not heard from the chief. So what happens next?
Well, Cece Cox, who is the CEO of the Resource Center, tells us she really wants a meeting with Chief Brown. She has requested one through the police department, and tells us that she's heard from them that they'll give her an answer by Tuesday as to whether the chief will meet with her. She tells us that she is fine with churches offering counseling to officers, offering other services. She just does not think that this particular church is an appropriate choice. We did try to talk to Chief Brown ourselves today. A department spokesman said the chief respectfully declines to comment. Back to you.
Deanna Zoga, downtown Dallas, thank you.